Hey everybody, as promised I got a special video for you. For this week I'm doing a special collaboration project with the artist Malamik Art on YouTube, and then she's also known as Malamik17 on Instagram. So we were planning to do a collaboration of a portrait drawings. She's going to be doing the left half. She already did it. She posted her video. I'll link to the video at the end. And I'm doing the right half. So this one is of a winter theme, of a kind of like a snow queen kind of drawing here. And in order to make it match up, it's important to, because we use the reference image, it's important to make the reference image accurate. So what I did, I didn't show it on here, so what I did is convert the reference image to using grid lines, like draw like a bunch of pattern grid lines on the image, and then transfer it to the same ratio of the grid line onto your piece of paper. I did that on a regular white paper, and I did that a few times, copied it to make sure it was accurate, and then I used my light table to transfer it with light lines onto my special paper here. This is a pastel paper. It's called a pastel mat, Clairefontaine Pastelmat. So then, like I said, I transferred the regular from the regular paper to with the light table to the using a light regular graphite pencil onto the pastel mat paper, and from there I used my colored pencils to do to actually add the details. You see the blue pencils on the image here. They add the details of the drawing like the edges of the shadows and such. Now what I did here was start with the actual pastel colors. I started with the base flat colors. I use two types of pastels. One of them is I use a regular, it's called Mungyo Pastels. I mean, you can basically use any pastel you want to, but I use the pastel blocks to do the flat colors, for the different basic shades. And from there you would see the gray stick that I'm holding. That's a what do you call it again? I forget the name of it. The drawing stick, smudge stick, I forget the name, but it comes with if you buy like pastel colors, they usually would come with it. Now after I do the basic flat colors, I would do the details with my Stabilo CarbOthello pencils. They're pastel pencils. They're very similar to colored pencils, like similar to the like Prismacolors, but they're actually pastel, so they're a lot softer. And if you use like a hard hand on it, you could actually break the pencil lead. So, but the good thing about it is it works really with pastel colors. You need to use like special paper. You can't just use like regular paper, because the colors don't come out as well. They don't come as smooth, because it's hard to use the blending stick to blend it. But when you're using the special paper along with the special pastel pencils, you can do really fine detail work on here. I'm sorry, I'm a little bit sick. I got sick over the weekend. I went to Lake Tahoe. brought my dogs over there to play in the snow, so excuse me for the interruptions. And what I did was, since it's a snow theme, I made her like really I kind of got inspired from the Game of Thrones, the what do you call them, the White Walkers, and I kind of gave her like kind of like a ice queen kind of look. So she's kind of like a otherworldly person, not human quite. Well, maybe she's a fey race or something. So that's why I used like the bluish color on her with the bluish eyes. I think I cut off the part where I did her hair, but there's the detail here of the hair. I did with the basic shade was blue, and then I did like lighter blues and whites and grays on the hair. Again, you can see me going back and forth between the pastel pencils and then the blending stick. What I did also, if you notice that, well, I'm gonna be doing that a little bit more later, is I'm going to change some of the details here, because I didn't really like which is easy for it's pretty easy with using pastel pencils, so you can change the details. Because I didn't really like some of the gloves, or I didn't like that the fact that her eyes was white, so I made her give her like a black eyes, or the center of the iris is still blue, but the outside of the eyes I made it black. So, I don't know, I really like the dark theme on most of my drawings. If it's not like a straight up just like a, you know, like using a reference, if I'm trying to like change something up, I usually go with a darker theme here. And normally this is kind of weird. On this one, I started with the detailing the actual portrait. Normally I would do the background, and then I work my way to the foreground image. When this one, I did it differently for some reason. This is only my second time using the pastel pencil, so maybe, I don't know, I guess I just got kind of like excited to do it first. My reasoning for doing the background first is because when I'm doing like a longer drawing, this one took a lot longer than my normal sketches. I think it took me maybe like three nights of working on it. And normally I would do the background images first, because by the time I get to the end of the drawing, if I did it the other way around, then I would get bored doing the background. But that wasn't the case here. But it's really up to you on what you want to do, on how you want to do the images. Here, like I said, I did the backgrounds later, and I did it like with the white pencil, the pastel pencil outlines, and give the home like a frozen look. Because like I said, I don't know if I mentioned it. It's kind of also inspired by the Snow Witch, which Frozen, the movie Frozen was kind of inspired. So there's like a darker version of her. So you see like a frozen village in the background, like the houses kind of, you know, white with the snow and the frost over the houses, using like a ice blue colors on it. And I did a similar thing with the trees in the back. Since it's winter time, there's really no leaves on there, and so I started off with doing like just white branches just to define the shape. And then right now you see me going back and forth between the white and the black to give the because the paper itself was gray, so I wanted to give really dark black color on the night sky. So in between the whites of the branches, I fill that in with the black pencils. And then of course sometimes it's gonna, because it's not, pastel pencils aren't, you know, you can sharpen it, but they get dull, so the images, like the sharp lines, kind of get lost. So I would go back and forth between the white and the black pencil just to define the sharp lines of the branches. Now with the background snow here, I didn't want to give it like a pure white, because I think it's gonna kind of like stand out too much. So only for the white itself, for like white snow, just the areas that are really close to the viewer, you would see that. Oh, you notice I used like white tissue on when I'm drawing, like going over areas that I went over previously. With pastel, it's really easy to smudge your drawings, and I did that a couple of times on the white area of her cloak. So you want to use like another paper to when your hand is on the image, like previously drawn images, to make sure that you don't smudge the images. And same with the white cloak, I think for me, I think it was standing out too much. The color was too white. So what I did later was change it to a more of like a darker, like a mid-gray and some blues on here. Same with the glove. I made it like I said it earlier, that I wanted to give her like a darker feel, so I changed the glove to make it more black on her hand. And here's the part where I said I darkened the inside part of the cloak of the fur, because her face wasn't pure white, and if I had the cloak like really white, that part of the image would stand out more. So I wanted her face to be more of what stands out in the drawing, rather than the inside part of a cloak. So I darkened up, give it a little bit of blues and grays. And with pastel, it's like I said, it's really easy to make things smooth. So in order to give like a fur texture, because her cloak's fur, in order to give like a fur texture, I then went afterwards with a light blue pencil and just did little hatch marks across the image to give it like give it like a furry image. Now here's the part where my half is the right side. This was the first time I worked on a collaboration with somebody, and I really enjoyed it. Here on the left side, you can see Malamik 17's her art. She did like a dragon on the background, which is really cool, and you can see the contrast between the style and the just the color of between our two artworks. Check out the link below for Malamik Art's left side of the watercolor portrait. So that was a little different this week, something fun, change of pace. So make sure to like and subscribe and leave any comments below. Bye.